Well, hello there, everybody. It is Jess. I don't know why I'm laughing at that. It's just such a random intro. But anyway, today we're doing a speed build. Duh. I've got the giggles now. Does that happen to anybody else? You get the giggles and then everything is funny even when it's just not? Oh, how awkward. But anyway. Okay, stop. Just like, I'm totally just deep breath, moving on. Today's build is this like kind of cluttered family bungalow kind of thing. I don't even know how I came up with this. It was one of those ones I just kind of built it and I was like, yeah, this looks like it would be a bungalow. Cool, build like that. So yeah, it's a pretty quick build actually. There's only a couple bedrooms in the house and there is one thing about this build that drives me like a little bit crazy, but we're just going to have to deal with it. There's no back door in it. So there's like the front garden and the back garden, and the back garden has like a fence around it and everything, but there's actually no back door into that garden, which in reality is pretty unrealistic, but we're just going to have to deal with it. You could probably add a back door if you put it in one of the bedrooms. It was just a way that the floor plan worked out, so I'm just going to tell you that now. Sorry if it bothers you. I left the floor plan in this build just because it's a pretty quick build. So I didn't see the point in like taking it out. Oh no, I didn't even leave the floor plan in this build. I'd take that. Did I? I can't even remember. I have to admit I wasn't paying a lot of attention. I was too busy giggling at the start of the video. But oh, how awkward. I honestly don't know if I had the floor plan in there or not. But anyway, it's a quick little build and yeah, in the build I'm going to wait until we actually move inside the house before I talk about it, but I really like doing these, like the really high roof with like the little, is it called a dormer? I don't know. The little like attic looking room. The only problem is I feel like you have to have like a certain style of home to make it work because the roof looks so high that sometimes I feel like it can look a little bit funny. So I had to just put that fake chimney on the other side of the house because otherwise I felt like there was just too much open space on the side of the house. But there's actually no fireplace in the build at all. I did the exterior and interior of this house separately and I was planning on putting a fireplace in the dining room and then I totally forgot about the whole fake chimney thing. So there's actually no fireplace in the house at all. So we're just going to say it's a decorative chimney. And I don't even know if that's a thing or not, but anyway. I'm using the pets or the cats and dogs pack, those little like fern things. I've seen like lots of other people use them and I don't know, I really like them, but I've just never really used them before. So I chucked them in this build and then I also put some rocks around the garden bed and I quite like the way it turns out. I feel like it just looks really cute and cozy. I do get some sort of like kind of autumny vibes from this build. I think it's just because it's got like the brown brick and I don't know, like a lot of like greenery rather than like lots of like pretty flowers and stuff. So yeah, I don't know if you get that vibe as well. I think it's easy for me to do like autumn vibes because we're actually you know what, we're in winter now. We've just gotten into June, so we're in winter here in Australia now. But a lot of things are looking just like a tiny bit drab and stuff. So I feel like subconsciously I might just be kind of doing wintry autumn builds anyway. I also put these little gnomes into the garden. I've started using them recently because the gnomes are cool. I miss in The Sims 3 how they had like those random like the freezer buddies and the gnomes that would just kind of like pop up randomly. So we're doing the backyard now, and with the fencing I did it like this like kind of geometric shape, I suppose you could say. I saw Avalon Sims do this in some of her builds and I really liked the way that it looked. I thought it just added something different to it instead of having the typical square rectangle shaped back garden. I just wanted to have like the little cool shapes. So definitely not my own original idea, just wanted to mention that one, but I think it turned out really, really cute and I do like it. I also just made sure that I put the landscaping like all around the house for this one. I'm trying to do that a little bit more often as well instead of just focusing on the front and the back of the house, landscaping everywhere. So we're into the kitchen now and you'll notice that there's like those little shelves. I didn't actually record me doing those shelves because it took me a really long time. You've got to get it like just perfect and I was gonna keep it in there, but then when I was watching myself do it, it was making me kind of like frustrated. I was like, God, just do it. So I figured that you guys probably wouldn't want to see it either, but I probably will incorporate it in another build at some point. So if you do want me to leave it in that build, I certainly can. That was the first time I'd done that shelf thing before. So, I mean, it's probably going to be easier for me to do it the second time around, so I might just keep it in next time, but I didn't keep it in there, so sorry. This is similar to I did the 10-minute build challenge, and then I ended up fixing it and turning it into like a cluttered sort of like bungalow kind of thing that I imagined a grandma would live in. And this is kind of very similar to that build, except this is more of like a family home. So it's really cluttered, and I wanted it to look like slightly old, like maybe it's an older home, it's got a small family. I'm thinking like a single mum and a kid, or parents and a kid, because there's only 2 bedrooms in the house. So very cluttered, sort of like more darker colors and maybe like a slightly older home, but I wanted it to also just be like very warm and cozy and comfortable. But yeah, I think I kind of got that sort of well. So we're just doing the cluttering of those shelves, and it was hard because I didn't really know what way to make the clutter face, because it depends. Like if you're standing in the kitchen, you're going to see like the backs of everything, or if you're in the lounge room, you're going to see the fronts of everything. I ended up just making everything face like the way it's facing, because I just kind of figured that I'll probably take my screenshots that way, and it'll look better for screenshots. And as I'm recording it, you don't want to see like the backs of everything, so I just recorded it and furnished it all the same way. I tried to do like a mixture of kitchen clutter and like living room clutter. So there are like some things that would go in the kitchen, and then there's like the treat jars for the pets and the knife block. But then there's other things like there's the books and, you know, the tissues and stuff. So it's a little bit 50-50. It was just kind of like some extra shelving that they'd put there because they needed some extra space. So doing the little living room now. There is like a separate dining room in this build. So yeah, it's only a small build, but there is a separate dining room. You just can't see that at the moment, so I just wanted to make sure I pointed that out in case you thought I forgot it, which I didn't. Yeah, so I went for like the green, like the dark green and brown sort of theme, and I think it turned out pretty well, to be honest. I think that there's a lot of like dark and green furniture in The Sims, so it was like a good color scheme to go with. I had lots of options, and I just chucked in like a little bit of blue as well, because there's a really nice rug that has some blue on it, and I really like those little ottoman things that come with the City Living Pack. Yeah, so I tried to make this look like there could potentially be a kid in this house as well. One thing that I wasn't sure about was the fact that all the doors and windows on the outside of the house were white, but then everything inside was like browns. So I kept them as like white, but yeah, I don't know, it's one of those things, like, should I maybe change the windows so that like it's got darker frames and stuff? But I kind of liked how it looked with the pops of white, so I just left it as is. So yeah, I put that little like pencil thing there because I just wanted it to kind of look like, yeah, a kid lives in this house. So I just kind of put like little subtle things around, I suppose. And I'm pretty sure I put a backpack near that front door as well. Just, you know, kid comes in, puts the backpack down. Yeah, there we go. There's the backpack. I didn't really know what else to put on this little thing here, so I just made it like a random little table. I don't know about you guys, but when you first walk into our house, it's just like a random little table where just kind of like the mail goes and your keys might go, and just like a bunch of just random little things that there's like nowhere else to put them, so you just put them in on that little like walk-in table. I had to fill that little like wall up there, so I just put that little like seating thing there, but you could probably turn that into an entryway into the dining room, and then you could have a little bit more space in the kitchen, but you know, totally up to you. So this is where that little like bit that's poking out, that's where I should have put the fireplace, but I forgot about it and I made that a little bar area instead, and I quite like the way that it turned out. I like putting bars into the dining rooms, and I like flipping around the other way. They're still functional. Otherwise, they just take up way too much space, and unless you have like some giant dining room, it's really hard to get a bar in them. So I just do it that way. Once again, very cluttered and kind of like dark colours. I do change the colour of that bar because I realise it doesn't match at all. I was trying to go for like the older theme by putting those metal and wood chairs down. I don't know, to me they just looked a little bit like dated. I feel like a lot of the homes that I build look really like new and like they've just been furnished from IKEA. So I just wanted to go for something a little bit more, yeah, dated. I know that like, at least where I live, like a lot of homes that were built in the 90s still have a lot of like the browns, and actually orange was a really big thing in the 90s, grey carpet and an orange kitchen. So I was just kind of, yeah, I was wanting it to just kind of look like this house was built maybe in the 90s rather than, you know, 5 years ago or something, which I feel like a lot of my builds look like. So doing the bedroom now, I actually forgot about this. I'm pretty sure I do keep the 2 beds in there and make it twins bedrooms. So yeah, I honestly, for the life of me, can't remember if I keep that in there or not. I have a feeling I might get rid of it. Yeah, I do. Okay, yeah. So I do. I go for this, Parenthood. I think it's Parenthood. Yeah, Parenthood furniture. I really like that dresser, but I feel like nothing ever kind of matches it. And then I realized that there's a few like purple and pink swatches that actually go with it really well. So I made this room very purple and pink just purely because I really wanted to use that dresser. But I like the way it turns out. I think it's like very different and very cutesy. So that's what I did for that one. And then, you know, put the light in there and the little clutter and everything. I also forgot to mention I had my game crash like last week or earlier this week. So you'll notice a few saves while I'm doing this build. I was still in that like frame of mind where I was like super paranoid about my game like freezing up or crashing on me. The game actually technically didn't crash. My heater, like had a little heater running, and it like short-circuited the power board and turned it off. So then my computer just completely turned off. So I was very devastated. So I'm like obsessively saving a little bit. Yeah, the only thing I didn't like about this bedroom was that weird little like hallway bit there, but I just couldn't get out of it. So it was kind of hard to fill in that long empty wall, and I think I put a bookshelf in the end. I think it turns out okay though. Like the bulk of the bedroom looks really good. It's just that random little like dark hallway bit, but sometimes in builds like you just have to, you know, you just gotta deal with it, you know, roll with the blows or whatever. I'd put these little like flower rugs in. I like doing like all the different colored little rugs like that and making it kind of look like one big rug, but yeah, anyway, that's pretty cool. This is like the last bedroom that we're doing now, which is the parents' room, and I really liked the way this one turned out. I thought that it was really, really cute. It was another room that was a bit of an awkward shape and kind of hard to furnish, but I ended up really liking the way it was done in the end. Once again, going for like the kind of older style looking furniture. I feel like that bed from Cats and Dogs can look kind of like modern and new or older depending on how you furnish the rest of the room. So I think that with the other stuff I use, it looks like it's a little bit older. And then I put that dresser in. I put that one in because I needed one that didn't take up a lot of space. And I also used that adorable dogs playing cards thing. The picture, and then I just had that random little extra spot there, so I thought I'd just put like a little chair in, and I thought those little like suitcases kind of looked really cute. And as I said, it's a quick build, so already onto the backyard. Just like some landscaping. I put some planter boxes in, and I put that what is that called, like the monkey bars. I put them in because again, you know, there's a kid in the house. Very basic little back garden, but I quite like the way that it ended up being landscaped, and I think that the landscaping looked really good against the fern fence kind of thing. So I'm going to leave it here, guys, because we're nearly into screenshots. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all in another video. Bye!